And we are live. Hello and welcome. We're talking about McNaughton-McKay and Rockwell Automation services and support. My name is Rachel Green. I'm the Digital Communications Specialist here at McNaughton-McKay. And presenting for us today is Gino Porter, Automation Specialist out of our Charleston location, Stephen Chaffee, Services Specialist out of our Greenville location, and Pete Lai, Software Specialist also out of our Greenville location. Out in the comment section, ready to answer your questions, is Stuart Newton, PLC Product Manager out of our Savannah location. And we'll also have a Q&A portion at the end for Gino, Stephen, and Pete to answer your questions in more depth. We'll be getting started shortly. We'd like to allow a few minutes for attendees to join us here. As you come in, please let us know where you're joining from in the comment section. I see we have Nathan, Joseph, Paul, and Leanne. Welcome. As we continue to socially distance, we're happy to be able to host these sessions on YouTube, making it possible for you to join us in the comfort and safety of your own homes and offices. You can view recordings of previous virtual Lunch and Learns on our YouTube channel under the Virtual Lunch and Learns playlist. And we'll be continuing this series every Wednesday at noon, so be sure to join us on your lunch break. For anyone just joining, welcome to our virtual Lunch and Learn, McNaughton-McKay and Rockwell Automation's services and support. Let us know where you're joining from. Hi there, Larry, Gary, John, welcome. We'll be looking for questions as you have them in the comments, while our presenters, Gino Porter, Stephen Chaffee, and Pete Lai, will cover the benefits available via TechConnect, eLearning, Vuforia Chalk, and RAcbi. Our specialist, Stuart Newton, will do his best to respond to your questions in the comments as we go along, and we'll also have a Q&A segment at the end of the presentation to address some of those questions in more depth and allow time for any follow-up questions you might have. If you'd like to reach out afterwards, or if you have further questions for Gino, Stephen, or Pete, you can send us an email at mcmclive@mc-mc.com. Just be sure to let us know which session you attended, and we'll direct your questions to them. We'll have that email address on the screen for you at the end as well. It looks like we have a number of attendees now, so we can get started. Gino, I'll pass it over to you now.
All right, thank you for the introduction, Rachel. Are you able to hear me okay? Audio check.
You sound great.
Perfect. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you're located, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our presentation. Today we are going to go over the Rockwell and McNaughton-McKay automation services and support, some of our offerings and things you can engage with. I'm going to start off with the presentation, and then I'm going to pass it off to Mr. Steve, and then follow up with Mr. Pete to end us off. The agenda for today, we're going to start off with TechConnect. TechConnect is a feature or a product that you can purchase through your local distributor. If you're in one of our territories, it would be with McNaughton-McKay. That allow you to take advantage of some tools, some search tools, some tech support, some web chat that we'll discuss a little bit later. We'll then transition to some webinars and seminars, show you how to navigate to those sessions and how to sign up. And then we'll transition to e-learning, and then we'll end with RA Foundations, also known as RAcbi, and then Mr. Pete is going to walk you through some free virtual labs, and then we'll sum it up with some questions. So TechConnect. So what is TechConnect? TechConnect is a package or a contract that you can, support contract that you can purchase through your distributor. Allows you to do certain things like engage knowledge base, is what I like to think of as the Google for Rockwell Automation. They're also allowed to engage through online chat support And then you can also pick up the phone and engage with one of Rockwell Automation's tech support engineers. So we're going to start off with knowledge base. Knowledge base, you can navigate to it by going to www.rockwellautomation.com. Once you land to that page, you can click the support page, which is indicated by the yellow arrow. Once you do that, you'll land to the splash page, which will allow you to basically, it's like think of it as Google, where you can type in your question. That question may be how to set up automatic device configuration. You type in that question, it's going to pre-populate some popular questions that have been asked before that are similar to what you're already typing. Let's say if you wanted to have a more meaningful search, you can click the submit a question, and basically that's just going to pop up some filters where you can say, hey, I only want to get responses from low voltage drives or medium voltage drives or Allen Bradley controllers. So it's going to only filter answers to those questions or knowledge base or some notes or some type of application file based on those check boxes that you check. So you have two options on how to do those two searches. So let's say you went through the exercise, you asked your question on the knowledge base. You might have got some answers, but you still just need a little bit more support. The next option is the chat now box. Personally, I'm a big fan of the chat now box because one, I may not feel like talking on the phone with somebody. One, I may not have good service. Two, I might have lost my voice. Or three, I just may not be in a good mood. Whatever the case may be. You can access the chat box and you'll get online with a virtual support engineer. So let's go through that exercise. Once you click the chat box now, it's going to give you a drop-down list with different, basically, chat groups that you can engage with. So if you had a question about a Rockwell Automation sensor, you'll click sensors. If you had a question about low voltage drives, you'll click where that yellow arrow is. But before we click into that, I want you to notice that there are different sections indicated in bold. One section, first section that's indicated in bold said there is no support contract required. So if you do not have a TechConnect support contract, you can get some support through the online chat box with factory top activations, micro 800 series hardware, or connected components workbench, which is also known as CCW. If you have some particular questions with the other sections, such as automation, such as push buttons, relays, sensors, PLCs, low voltage drives, motion, or HMIs, you're going to need a support contract. And again, your local distributor will be able to set that up for you. So again, I had a question about low voltage AC drives. I click that button. It's going to open up the chat box. And this is a screenshot from about a couple weeks ago. And this is how the conversation goes. The engineer introduces himself and say, how can I help you? And is this a new case or existing one? If this is a existing case, you'll just provide the tech support ticket number, and then they will pick up from there. They'll be able to read your notes or where you left off with the previous engineer, whether you called via phone or through the chat box, and then they'll pick up from there. If it's a new case, you just say, hey, this is a new case, and they'll start a new ticket number for you. So again, I'm going to ask them your question, and then they're going to provide an answer, typically in two ways. One, they're going to send you a link to a manual and indicate the page that you need to go to with a link, which is usually a little bit more useful. Someone just saying, here's a manual, they're going to point to which page that you need to go to. Some of these manuals can be anywhere between 100 pages to several hundred pages, so that's pretty useful. or two, they will send you a link to a knowledge base article, which is what we just looked at on the previous set of slides, and it'll indicate on the proper steps or procedures that you need to take. So this is pretty neat. After you're done having your chat box conversation, within a few minutes, if that, you'll get an email report to your email that issues a ticket number that this case is documented on there, and also every line of text that you have with that tech support engineer. So this is great for documenting your conversations, or if you're like me and you might forget what the person might have told you the night before, this is very useful. So webinars and seminars. So let's say you are spending a little bit more time at home, or you're stuck in the office and you want to engage with some online webinars. This is useful for particularly what's going on now in current events. You may not feel comfortable being in a room with other folks. Rockwell Automation gives, just like how McNaughton-McKay offers, Rockwell Automation offers events, usually multiple ones a week, which are called webinars. And these webinars spread across different topics, anywhere from medium voltage, low voltage, safety, HMI, anything that's industry specific, whether about improving processes for steel or whatever your industry may be. They're throwing out different topics and they're pretty useful. So how do you get to it? You go to rockwellautomation.com, you click the events tab. When you get to the events tab, it's going to show you the most current or the upcoming webinars or seminars, whatever you like to call it, what's being presented, the topic, the date, and the time that's being offered. If you'd like to learn more information about it, just intuitively click the link and they'll give you a more detailed explanation of what that person is going to be discussing during that presentation. As you can see in the top left corner of the screen, there's going to be two tabs. One tab says live and the other tab says on demand. Live means that the presentation hasn't occurred yet and you'll be able to watch it in real time. And for those that are watching this at right now, you're watching it live. But let's say if you want to watch in the future, after the presentation is concluded, it'll be under the on-demand side, and then you'll be able to watch that presentation at your own leisure, at your own time. So how do you sign up for one of these presentations? Click the link, and then on the right side, slow cutoff, you'll populate your information such as your state, first name, last name, your email and telephone number. And then after that, it will send you within a few minutes a unique individual link that will allow you to access that either live webinar or the on-demand webinar. So it's pretty intuitive. So as we transition from online webinars, I'll pass the ball over to my teammate, Mr. Steven, out of Greenville, South Carolina, as he will discuss the new e-learning platform.
Awesome. Thanks, Gino.
Welcome.
Thanks, everybody, for being out there today on this webinar. And as we continue this Lunch and Learn series, I'm excited to introduce to you guys today Rockwell Automation's new e-learning platform. What I want to cover simply is what's available today, what the pricing structure looks like, and how you guys can access your free e-learning pass. You know, if you could hit the next slide for me, please. So the best place to start with e-learning, I think, is to ask the question, why? Why e-learning? So based on industry trends, we're seeing that manufacturers are being forced to run lean and they have a reduced budget. The the sending employees off to training for weeks at a time, we're not seeing that as much anymore. And another thing is the skills gap. It's real. Judging by this image here, you can see by 2025, 2.7 million baby boomers are predicted to retire, leaving 2 million jobs to go unfilled. For those of you who don't know what the skills gap is, that's the shortage of skilled and trained people within your organization. E-learning was created to help overcome these obstacles and keep your workforce sharp and ahead of the competition. Today, we've got about 15 courses that are available for you guys to look into. They cover a majority of our product groups, including control logics, motion, safety, power control, HMI, industrial networking, soon to be process control. You can see on this screen here, there's a handful of boxes. Those boxes are the courses that are scheduled to be released this year, FY20. If you look closely under the motion tab, the SIP motion programming course that you see boxed there was actually released about 2 weeks ago. So there are actually 16 courses available to date. What is e-learning? A little deeper, it's self-paced, module-based training that can be accessed via any PC or tablet. It can be started and stopped at your convenience, really. And what it is, each module contains different activities, software simulations, and demonstration videos to help reinforce learning concepts. And at the end of each learning session, there is an assessment requiring an 80% pass rate in order to be awarded your CEUs and get your certification of completion. The main difference between live instructor-led training that we've seen in the past and where we're going in the future with this e-learning is the hands-on access. Unfortunately, you lose a lot of the hands-on access because everything is virtual via e-learning. The way we combat this is every Mac and Mac location has a training room where we'll be more than happy to provide you guys with the equipment to test your knowledge after you guys have accessed your e-learning packages. Another method here is we do have these demos on the screen. Based on your availability or your location, we'll have to look into what demos we can get to you. But we'd be more than happy to look into what demos are available, and we can ship those out to you to use during your e-learning course or after. So as you can see here, based on the pricing structure, it's a heavy discount towards our TechConnect customers. They have more options as well. So if you don't have a TechConnect, one 90-day fast pass for one course is around $726. On the left-hand side there, you see our fast pass for TechConnect customers is only $482. Again, there's a heavy discount towards our TechConnect customers. We value our TechConnect, as Gino said, and we believe that's very important towards your operation. Other users here, you have single user, group user, and multi-user based on the amount of people who could be accessing that e-learning package. So if you have a TechConnect, you have access to single, group, and multi-user packages, which gives you access to every course that's available, all 16 courses right now. You can take those courses as many times as you want for a full year. If you want to learn more about e-learning, just as Gino pointed out with our TechConnect, if you go to www.rockwellautomation.com, hover over the products tab there, and on the right side, you see e-learning courses. If you click on that tab, you can get product descriptions for every course that's available to ensure that that's the right course for you. Just a little walkthrough of what the e-learning looks like. On this screen on the left side, you see the Explore tab that's open. This is the library. If you were to go forward with e-learning, all your courses that are available are sitting in this queue. In this example, you see our CCA 184 course for our PowerFlex 750 drives. If you were to click on Resume tab there on the right-hand side, it opens up all of the modules that are available for this course. There are more modules than shown here. I just couldn't snip them all and add them here. There's about 8 to 10 modules available for this course. And again, as you go through these modules, they can be start and stopped at your convenience. And at the end, there's an assessment in which you have to pass with at least an 80% to get your CEUs and certificate of completion. So moving forward with the walkthrough, if you were to click on any of those modules, what it looks like is it's video based. And in this example here, there's 4 videos that you walk through in this module. And you can see there on the left, that's an example of a video as it walks through and gives you the information. On the right-hand side, that's after the 4 series of videos for this module, there's a knowledge check. It's a drag and drop knowledge check. There's many different types of knowledge checks. This is the example for this one. It's a drag and drop, just to ensure that you have captured the information from the training successfully. last thing I wanted to mention here was everything that is free today due to the COVID relief with Rockwell Automation. Again, every customer gets access to one free e-learning course of the 16 that are available today. You get to choose whatever course you would like. As Gino mentioned, the technical support he went over, we're giving that away for free until August 31st. You have access to the chat and emailing with the engineers. A lot of our customers go into what we call as product support, which gives you telephone support. So if you are not a TechConnect user today, I would highly suggest you check out this free offering. And if you're interested in a quote for the full support, we'd be more than happy to help you with that as well. Lastly, here is the free PTC Vuforia Chalk download. I'm not going to jump into that yet. It is a great service and offering, but I'm going to hand the ball over to Pete here, who's going to jump into that and talk a little bit more about the benefits.
Hey everybody, I'm Pete Lai. I'm the process and software specialist with McNaughton-McKay in Greenville, South Carolina. So I've got a couple of exciting things that are really beneficial to you that we're going to talk about today. And one of them is RA Foundations, or as some of you may know it as RAcbi. If you've ever been to a tech ed in Orlando or on the West Coast somewhere, this is typically what you would have seen at a tech ed and what's going on at Rock Live right now. So RA Foundations is actually the labs that are run at a tech ed or at a Rock Live, and they're in the Azure cloud. And you can access these with your web browser. Now, the exciting feature is that Rockwell has added hardware to these. So for some of these labs, you'll be able to actually run and use some of the hardware that's there. Now, this is a little different from what Stephen was going over. This is typically a short 2-hour to 3-hour lab that you can go through that'll give you what's new, or what some basic instruction on what's going on. It's not an in-depth e-learning type of situation, but it is available and it's free. Next slide, please. So what's going to happen is when we get one of these labs or computers or virtual machines spun up for you, I'm going to go and get, or your distributor will go and get the lab that's available. And what I'm showing here is the beginning of the typical lab. So you can look at that. You can see you're using CCW with PowerFlex 525 drive, and they're pretty extensive. They're usually 100 pages or so. And I'll send that to you. Next slide, Gina. So what actually happens is there's an asset library, and this asset library changes, month to month. But Rockwell will put up the virtual machines that are there, in with the associated hardware now on the different labs and the different types of things you can take. So for instance, if you're interested in Asset Center, I can spin one of these up for you, and you can actually go through a short lab that will let you kick the tires on this particular software without having to load it or get temporary licenses or anything like that. So, and this is I'll pick one of these, or you'll pick one. And next slide, Gino. So what will happen at that point is I'll have to go in there, and this is showing you the page where it gets deployed. And you'll notice that there's some costing there. So Rockwell is spending about $1 to $2 million a year free of charge for you, and for us to utilize that. So make use of it, and then we'll process them and turn them on in the next slide. So what happens is I will get back a link, and you'll notice that it's RAcbi East US Rockwell Automation in the box there with a username and a password that will be sent to you. And you will just hit that website and enter that username and password, and you will get the next slide, which is a virtual machine that's actually running software you may want to test out and learn about. In this particular case, we're looking at the virtual machine for Factory Talk Analytics. And you can go and create your own web page within the analytics and take a look at how they're actually using that test against different machines and different reports. So it's a really interesting thing to get into. Next slide. So the next thing we're going to talk about, which is free until August now, they've extended it. They may extend it in through to September, but that is Vuforia Chalk. It's a remote maintenance on your phone. And Gina is going to play a 2-minute video for this to give you an idea of what that's all about.
Digital transformation should empower your people. Today, a high-performance workforce requires extensive training programs, equipment maintenance, travel budgets, and support systems. Yet, the traditional means of sharing expertise are inefficient and time-consuming. Now we've created a new way to tackle these business requirements. This is Vuforia Chalk, an easy-to-use, powerful support tool that allows your workforce to collaborate in real time, anywhere. Chalk enables your workforce to connect for support or training. First, employees can share a live view of their workspace with an expert or coworker.
The waste valve here. Now that that's closed, you can turn on your surface wash valve, which is here.
Okay, got it. Both people can draw on the world and work together as if they are together. And thanks to Vuforia augmented reality technology, your annotations stick exactly where they're drawn, even when you move around as you work. In fact, you can pause the live view to draw easy-to-follow, multi-step instructions. With Chalk, simple instructions help you solve complex problems, quickly and effectively. Chalk works on mobile devices, meaning your most experienced minds are accessible anytime, anywhere.
Then you want to open either one of these 2 motor meters here.
Having your best minds on the job remotely means solving the problem right the first time, reducing equipment downtime, and improving your bottom line. Chalk is ideal for service and training, and for other forms of collaboration too.
Okay, and lower the tongue and let's lose this eyelid.
It's easy for your team to work together or give feedback from almost anywhere in the world, saving you time and money.
You did a great job your first time there. Thank you.
Accuracy, efficiency, collaboration. Chalk brings your workforce together with simple, intuitive tools they love to use. Vuforia Chalk. See it, solve it together.
So that pretty much explains it all. I'd like to add that Vuforia Chalk is a little different from other technologies that you might use, or even like this WebEx, because it actually is keeping track of where locations are. So if you're on a machine and you're trying to do support for that with somebody, it'll actually keep track of where you went and actually instruct on where to go and things like that. So it's got a X, Y, Z perception of where you're actually moving to and moving through, because some repairs are very difficult. But to get the free download, they're offering this free to you during this COVID-19. There's the link at Rockwell Automation for the free access. Just click the Get Started button, and that will take you to a pop-up. Next slide, Gina. That will allow you to enter your email address and get that registered through Rockwell, and so that we can see that you've actually submitted. And next slide. So at that point, it will take you over to our sister company, the PTC, and you can enter your name, additional information, and then your company, and agree to join. And you may want to select that I need my own account, which will allow you to be the Vuforia Chalk champion or team leader for your site and give you access to the admin. And you'll get started. And next slide. And then you'll get another page that will tell you what will happen next. So it says within 2 business days, but typically I've seen that it takes a couple hours, or maybe just less than an hour. And you'll get an invitation email, so look for that in your junk mail if you will, and it will have instructions on how to go and finish up the sign up, and we'll also send you links to a set of videos with an introduction on how to invite people and go through the process of doing a repair with Vuforia Chalk software. Next slide. So again, just to go over these promotional offers that have been extended until August. They were originally in June. So we have free e-learning courses, the free online technical support, and the free PTC Vuforia Chalk downloads that you can get started with that. So take advantage of it. Next slide, please. So here are a couple of our takeaways. You really need to capitalize on your TechConnect features. The TechConnect's a great thing. Tech support people are very good and can really help you out, especially now. You can get some of that for free. And I'll additionally say, sign up for the webinars and seminars. As right now and this week of June, we're having Rock Live. There's tons of webinars going on that you can learn a lot of stuff about what's new out there, AI, AR, augmented reality, and those typical kind of things. And take advantage of the free e-learning that's there to kick the tires and see if that's something that you want to use for your plant and facility. And it might help you out training your new employees or get your other employees up to speed. And also we have the RA Foundations, the RAcbi, and the software and hardware in the cloud to allow you to test out our products and software and really have an idea what's going on with that and get yourself up to speed with that. Next slide. And that's our link if you have any questions. And I'm going to turn this back over to Rachel to see if we had any questions. And that's the end of my section of the presentation.
Thank you, Pete. We don't have any live questions at this time, but we're going to give it just a moment to see if anyone has some follow-up questions. If I can we go back a slide and put that email address back up on the screen? Perfect. While we wait, I just want to reiterate that you can reach out to us even after the live stream has ended at this email address, mcmclive@mc-mc.com. We'll make sure that your question is passed along to our presenters who can respond to you directly. And just be sure to let us know the name of the session you attended when you do reach out on this email address. All right, wonderful. Thank you, Gino, Pete, and Stephen. And thank you, Stuart, for being a resource out in the comments section. And thank you most of all to all of our live viewers for your time today. We hope this session was informative and engaging for you. And please remember to subscribe to the McNaughton-McKay YouTube channel for more industry content. We look forward to seeing you live again soon. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.